comprehensible. Many of you are troubled by the concern and anxiety this story of an epidemic might cause to your relatives and friends on Earth. Well, I completely sympathize with your negative views. I found this cover story personally embarrassing myself. However, I accept the need for absolute secrecy in this, and I hope you will too. Now, I'm sure you're all aware of the extremely grave potential for cultural shock and social disorientation contained in this present situation, if the facts were prematurely and suddenly made public without adequate preparation and conditioning. Anyway, this is the view of the Council. The purpose of my visit here is to gather additional facts and opinions on the situation, and to prepare a report to the Council, recommending when and how the news should eventually be announced. Now, if any of you would like to give me your views and opinions, in private if you like, I'd be only too happy to include them in my report. Well, I think that's about it. Any questions?
Dr. Floyd, have you any idea how much longer this cover story will have to be maintained?
I don't know, Bill. I suppose it'll be maintained as long as deemed necessary by the Council. And of course, there must be adequate time for a full study to be made of the situation before any thought can be given to making a public announcement. Oh, yes, as some of you already know, the Council has requested that formal security oaths be obtained in writing from everyone who has any knowledge of this event. Ah, were there any more questions?
Well, I'm sure we'll all want to cooperate with Dr. Floyd as fully as possible. And as there seems to be no more questions, I think we ought to get on with the briefing. Thank you, Dr. Floyd.
Thank you.
Well, anybody hungry?
Great. What do we got?
You name it.
What's that, chicken?
Something like that. Tastes the same anyway.
Got any ham?
Ham.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
They look pretty good.
Well, they're getting better at it all the time.
You know, that was an excellent speech you gave us, Haywood.
It certainly was.
I'm sure it beefed up morale a hell of a lot.
Thanks, Ralph. Oh, by the way, I wanted to say to both of you, I think you've done a wonderful job. I appreciate the way you've handled this thing.
Well, the way we look at it, it's our job to do this thing the way you want it done. We're only too happy to be able to oblige.
Have you seen these yet?
What are they?
Yeah, have a look at this.
Here's what started the whole thing.
Well,
When we first found it, we thought it might be an outcrop of magnetic rock, but all the geological evidence was against it. And not even a big nickel iron meteorite could produce a field as intense as this. So we decided to have a look.
We thought it might be the upper part of some buried structure, so we excavated out on all sides, but unfortunately we didn't find anything else.
And what's more, the evidence seems pretty conclusive that it hasn't been covered up by natural erosion or other forces. It seems to have been deliberately buried.
Deliberately buried.
Well, how about a little coffee?
Oh, great.
Good idea.
I don't suppose you have any idea what the damn thing is, huh?
Wish the hell we did. No, the only thing we're sure of is it was buried 4 million years ago.
Well, I must say, you guys have certainly come up with something.
Oh, it's just outside.